What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to a new mock draft I'm going to be doing. My last one got a decent amount of views, so figured I might as well keep doing it. If you're new to the channel, like and subscribe for more. This one's going to be an interesting one. Obviously, this is not as realistic, but I'm going to be doing a mock draft, no trades once again. And if I have to cut the video, it's because my girlfriend and I got a new puppy. So you might see me look away for a second because it gets into everything. It's good. I'm not going to cut that out. So title of this video is going to be somewhere along the lines of doing a mock draft, no trades, and picking the player that I think they should pick, or best player available, or what I think they'll do if they weren't allowed to trade the pick. So that's what we're going to do. And I'm not even going to get into it. We'll just go ahead and start. Number one, no trades. Obviously, I think the Bears will end up trading. They'd be dumb if they didn't. It's all smoke and mirrors that they would take Bryce Young and potentially trade Justin Fields. I think Justin Fields is just as good as Bryce Young, if not better. Me personally, I like Justin Fields better. Y'all might disagree with that. But I'm not saying Bryce Young isn't a good quarterback. He's a good quarterback. Let's just get past that. He's a good quarterback, okay? Bears go Will Anderson. The league is ruled by a few positions, especially. Number one, you can't win without a good quarterback. I strongly believe in that. And then you also need edge rush and you need pass protectors. It's a pass-driven league. I would put it in the order. It's tough, but I would say QB, then edge rusher. So with that being said, I'm going to go Will Anderson Jr. because I do think the Bears have their quarterback of the future. Here at number two, Texans come in. Whoever the new head coach is going to be, I feel sorry for them because that organization is just a cluster. Me personally, I would want CJ Stroud here, but Bryce Young is supposed to be the number one quarterback, so we'll go Bryce Young here. And then Cardinals at three. They could use a lot, honestly. There's a lot of talks that Sean Payton might get this job. He likes Kyler Murray a lot. So, I think right here you could go a multitude of different ways. Obviously, edge rusher is a super important position. But I'm going to go with Jalen Carter because I think he is an extremely good prospect. Defensive linemen like him are hard to come by. So Jalen Carter goes to the Arizona Cardinals. Now at number four, this pick is easy to me. I think the Colts go CJ Stroud. They'd be dumb if they didn't. This is a great QB to pair with Jonathan Taylor and Michael Pittman. I think that one's just a no-brainer. He's my favorite prospect QB-wise in this draft. I think you got to go with him if you're the Colts. Getting a mid QB is just not the move. Now here we are at pick number 5 with Seattle. Seattle having a top 5 pick is crazy. To me, they could go a multitude of different ways, and multitude seems to be the word I'm going to be using all day today. I think Geno is probably fine for them for a little bit. I don't think that they would probably go quarterback this draft. I think next year it's definitely in play with Drake May and Caleb Williams kind of being the head people of that draft class, head quarterbacks. Honestly, that's a strong quarterback class is what it's looking like. So, with the two best quarterbacks off the board, obviously everybody loves Will Levis. I don't think he really fits the Seattle mantra, in my opinion. I think we'll go Brian Bresee, great high school player. Dealt with a couple injuries here at Clemson. They could also go Myles Murphy, but being that they got Boye Mafe, I'm going to give them Brian Bresee. And then here at number 6, honestly, I'm not the biggest Jared Goff fan, but again, I think they could wait. I think they could just use Jared Goff and build something else. It would be crazy to me if they could get Nolan Smith, Myles Murphy, or Peter Skoronski. My puppy is Biting a fake plant. That's cool. Gonna ignore that. So, me personally, I would want Nolan Smith over Myles Murphy, but I think it's more likely that they pair Myles Murphy with Aiden Hutchinson. If they got Peter Skoronski, that would be a huge pickup for them. Their O-line is already so good, and to get that solidified left tackle and have Penei as the right tackle, I mean, any quarterback could be good in that system. I really do think that. But for the purposes of Dan Campbell and wanting to bite kneecaps off, I'm going to go Myles Murphy. Here at 7, with Derek Carr being out, I'm going to give them Will Levis. I mean, they could go a bunch of different ways, but, quarterback being one of the most important positions, Will Levis would probably be the pick here. So we'll go Will Levis. And then here at the Atlanta Falcons, there's nothing that necessarily just jumps out to me for this team. They've got Desmond Ridder. Marcus Mariota quit on the team. That's just terrible. Can't believe he did that. I don't hate defense here. Also don't hate a receiver here, being that they just have really Kyle Pitts in that system. Peter Skoronski is also another one that could potentially be in play here. Get another corner in Cam Smith with AJ Terrell. But I think based off of, how important positions are and Nolan Smith being injured currently, even though he's a great prospect, we're going to go Peter Skoronski. And then here at number 9, Panthers definitely going to be a trade-up target, but them losing out on quarterbacks is going to be huge. So, what do you do from here? I say you go defense. They've got some pretty decent receivers in their room. I really think taking Nolan Smith here would be huge. The injury concerns is the only reason I haven't clicked draft yet. I like their cornerback room. I mean, they got Icky. I'm going to give them Quentin. I'm going to give them Quentin Johnson. I'm going to do it. I think pairing him with DJ Moore and whatever quarterback is in that system, if it's Sam Darnold, man, that's huge. I think this one's easy. I think this one has to be one of these top corners. And I'm going to go with the one that I think might be a little bit better. And I'm going to say Kelee Ringo. Watching him in this playoff run, he looked really, really good. Gets a little bit handsy here and there. Cam Smith, I just personally don't know enough about, even though he's a top prospect. I haven't watched enough film on him. I know that he's good, but so, you know what? Here, we'll do that. Let's look at him. Cam Smith highlights. Let's just see. Let's just look at him. How about we do that?
Stops. What adjustments were made during
on the near sideline?
Let's look into
and Carolina takes over after Cam Smith, the freshman.
and that was
1st and 10. Kutrinic wants to throw in the flat. Nothing going.
All right, I'm an idiot. I changed my mind. Yeah, we're going to go Cam Smith for these guys. Sorry I even doubted that. This is where the first offensive tackle comes off the board, or the second offensive tackle comes off the board. Sorry. Taylor Lewan probably out the door, cap casualty, dealt with injuries. Paris Johnson Jr. I think has some of the highest upside. I really like him. He didn't look so hot against Georgia, but it's Georgia, man. Like, they're really good. So, Paris Johnson goes to the Titans. And then we're here at 12. Texans are up. Man, I think they could do a lot here. They got their quarterback in Bryce Young. We drafted him. Brandon Cooks wants out. That's a little unfortunate because if he wasn't out the door, then I think Nolan Smith or Tyree Wilson is the play here. But with him being out the door, I think Jordan Addison paired with Mechie potentially coming back, which is reported that Mechie's recovering well, which is awesome. So I'm going to give them Jordan Addison just because you got to get some playmakers for Bryce Young, dude. And then the Jets are up. Personally, I don't know where I would go with this Jets team. To be honest with you, what makes sense to me is Broderick Jones here. Mekhi Becton has been dealing with injuries, and I think DeJuan Brown is their other tackle right now, so let's replace him. And then my Patriots are up. Yeah. Go Pats. So I'm going to just go ahead and go all the way down the board. And I'm going to go to the 7th page, and I'm going to just choose a random player because that's what built. No, I'm just kidding. Cole Strange pick, I'm not even mad about it. Cole Strange has been fine. Kyle Duggar has been good too. Honestly, I don't think you can ever have too many edge rushers. Nolan Smith being here is a crime. Tyree Wilson being here is also crazy. I felt like the cornerback room for the Patriots was just a little lackluster this year. We've had some problems. We've had some guys come along. And I've totally tricked you guys. Jackson Smith-Njigba, I don't believe Kendrick Bourne or Jacoby Myers is on contract for next year. I just butchered his name. I think one of these guys will be back, and I think one of them will be gone. I don't know who that's going to be. I'm going to give us Jackson Smith-Njigba. And then we go to the Packers. Man, I think you just get another Georgia edge rusher or a Georgia player to, beat up on trainers and athletic trainers and staff. I think that makes the most sense, right? No, I really do think that you could go a bunch of different ways with this team. Aaron Rodgers might not be there next year. They've got Jordan Love. I think Nolan Smith has to go here. I know they've got pretty good edge rushers, but you can never be that. Like, having a wave of them is just as good, so I'm going to give them Nolan Smith. Now, this one's an interesting one. The Commanders, Sam Howell has looked good in his last game where he got to play. Carson Wentz isn't the answer, and Taylor Heineke is going to be a free agent. There's no QBs here that I would take necessarily. Tanner McKee is here, but I don't see them taking him. Anthony Richardson, I don't think would go here. He doesn't seem to me like a Commander, so I'm not going to give him up there. I think the cornerback room needs help there. I think Fuller might be a free agent this upcoming year. Fuller contract Commanders. I might have been wrong, huh? Oh no, okay, I was right. He is a free agent, unrestricted. So yeah, let's get Kelee Ringo for this team. I think that makes sense. And then right here, I've got a guy that I want to give the Steelers really bad. That's O'Cyrus Torrence. I think he's the best guard in the class. Actually, he is the best guard in the class, in my opinion. I think he's kind of a no-brainer here. Their offensive line hasn't been great. And when the Steelers' offensive line is good, the Steelers are good. Kenny Pickett has came along. I wasn't that big of a fan of him. He doesn't look bad, guys. Like, he looks pretty solid. So I'm going to give O'Cyrus Torrence to the Steelers. And then we're back with the Lions again. They got Myles Murphy, a top edge rusher. This is where Michael Mayer goes, in my opinion. They got rid of Hawkinson. They got picks. Why don't you just replace him with another guy that's just as good? That is a huge loss for anybody that wanted a tight end. Buccaneers, honestly, this team's an interesting one. I think they'll be in sweepstakes for like Derek Carr or Jimmy Garoppolo, although Anthony Richardson would look good in a Bucs uniform. I'm going to give them Tyree Wilson, edge rusher out of Texas Tech. Now, Seattle is back on the clock. They got Brian Bresee. Breesy. Jeez, I can't say his name. Seattle's corners are pretty good. I'd say their front seven is the thing that needs work. We got them Brian Breesy. Boye Mafe's kind of a project. Their safeties are pretty good. Offensively, they could use some help. Anthony Richardson could be in play here. Tyler Lockett is getting older, though. And I think Josh Downs is the man, huh? He's a great player. I really like Jalen Hyatt as well. Well, let's give Josh Downs to the Seahawks. Pair him with DK, that would be insane, right? I mean, Brian Branch, though, he's so good. There's a lot of great players here. I mean, you could literally pick anybody, and I'd be happy for them. Let's go Josh Downs, though. Jacksonville's up on the clock. I think you take Anton Harrison. That wouldn't be bad. Brian Branch, honestly, would be great as well. You could do edge rush. Let's go Brian Branch. Just sure up more of the DBs at Jacksonville. Makes sense. Dolphins get skipped. Hot take. I think Daniel Jones gets re-signed. I don't think they go QB. So I really think Trenton Simpson makes sense here. And I don't know what I did in my last mock, so I'm purely going off of what I think. So, yeah, let's go Trenton Simpson. Great linebacker out of Clemson. They need help at the linebacker position. I think, they've got some good young pieces. The offense is pretty good. Interior could be a focal point, but there's not really anybody here that I would necessarily say other than Andrew, but, I mean, it is what it is. Ravens are here. They love their DBs. I think this is a no-brainer. Jalen Jones out of Texas A&M goes to the Ravens. And then we're here with the Chargers. Chargers are an interesting one. I think corner has to be a move here. Personally, I like Joey Porter a little bit more, but I think Christian Gonzalez goes here. So Chargers get Christian Gonzalez. Having a bunch of DBs there makes sense. J.C. Jackson just got into legal trouble, I believe, in New England. So we'll see about that. Now, this is going to be a hot take, and you might not like it, or you might like it. I'm going to give Drew Sanders my Hogs. Yes, sir. I'm not a Cowboys fan, though. Jerry Jones, Arkansas alum, loves his Arkansas players, loves the team, played for Arkansas. Drew Sanders, one of the best transfers from this last year. Lit it up at Arkansas. Had kind of a down, last couple games and then the bowl game. Really think he was playing hurt, but he tore it up all year. Arkansas just is not that good of a team. So I'm going to give the Dallas Cowboys Drew Sanders. So we're here at 26, and we're here with the Bengals. Anton Harrison probably is a good pick here, but I'm going to go a different direction. I'm going to go Joey Porter Jr. And I'm doing that because I think he's a good player, and also I don't think Eli Apple's back next year. They need cornerback help. I really think that's the sole reason they lost the Super Bowl. DBs just weren't that good. I think Anton Harrison is also another great pick here, but I got to go corner. I got to help them out. And then we're here with the Vikings. The Vikings are a pretty good football team. I personally don't know what to do for them. Kevin O'Connell's done a great job. Kirk Cousins seems to be the guy there. Dalvin Cook getting up there in age. I think he's got a couple more years. The one thing I will say is Adam Thielen's not getting any younger. You could definitely give them... Ooh. Yeah, okay, this makes sense. Let me think about this. Hear me out. Harrison Smith's getting old. I think it makes sense for Antonio Johnson to go. Be that replacement guy. Harrison Smith has been good forever, but, he is getting old. Let's give them him. Oof. Denver Broncos. All right, Denver Broncos. They are. There's something else, man. Oh man, I think edge is probably fine for them. I think you could go Anton Harrison or you could go Bijan Robinson, just because Javonte got hurt. But I'm gonna go Anton Harrison just because I think that's a great pick for him. Buffalo Bills are up here. I think Jared Verse being here just makes no sense. And Von Miller hurt. He'll be back next year, but let's give him Jared Verse. Great edge rusher. And then we got the Kansas City Chiefs. Wouldn't put it out of the realm of possibility that Bijan goes there. But for the sake of, giving Kansas City edge rushers, because you can never have enough, I'm going to give them B.J. Ojolari, who is one of my favorite prospects. And the last pick in the draft, because the Miami Dolphins forfeited their pick, Eagles go Bijan Robinson. Miles Sanders probably out the door, I would say. So, yeah, this is going to be the end of my mock draft with no trades. Kind of just going through and picking who I think is the best available. And obviously, I have no credibility whatsoever, but I do this for fun. Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Who you want to see your team draft. And if I drafted a player that you don't want, tell me who you rather would have had. See you guys in the next one. Peace.